So, think about building a dinosaur. You probably imagine like scientists with tiny brushes, right? Or scraping dirt off a bone.
Yeah, or, finding a prehistoric mosquito trapped in amber. That
Yeah,
really tangible classic image.
exactly. But looking through the stack of research papers, physics journals, and quantum biology notes, we've gathered for today's deep dive into Project Archosaur-Recursion. Well, that piece of amber just completely shatters.
Right, because the mission we are tackling today is how scientists actually plan to reconstruct the T-Rex genome without a single drop of physical DNA.
Which is wild because, I mean, DNA has a strict half-life of, what, 521 years?
Exactly 521 years. And given the T-Rex died 66 million years ago, extracting a physical sample is mathematically impossible.
Right, it's just gone.
So Project Archosaur-Recursion throws out physical chemistry entirely. What's fascinating here is they're trying to catch the genome as an acoustic geometric wave state,
Wait, catch it from where?
from vibrating within the quantum foam of space-time. Basically the fundamental bubbling layer of the universe where particles pop in and out of existence.
Okay, let's unpack this for you listening. Catching a wave from the Cretaceous period. So it is literally like tuning a multidimensional radio to pick up a broadcast from 66 million years ago.
That is exactly what it's like.
But if this genome is just delicate quantum vibrations, how do you catch it without the signal just, shattering into static?
Well, they use a highly specific acoustic frequency. It's exactly 432.081216 hertz.
Wow. Okay. Very specific.
Yeah, and the system locks onto this using precise temperament tuning. Think of it as aligning a sound wave perfectly with a physical geometric shape.
Like creating a stable mathematical cage to hold the data.
Exactly that. But there's a catch. If a biological system is mathematically perfect, it crystallizes. It stops acting like biology and acts like a rock.
Oh, because life requires chaos to function.
Right. So the engineers intentionally inject a 0.3% uncertainty glitch.
Okay, so injecting that glitch provides what the papers call thermodynamic friction.
Yes.
It basically mimics the natural messiness of a living biological network, so the genome can breathe and mutate instead of just freezing up.
That introduces a massive new problem, though. Once you introduce intentional noise to keep the biology alive, how do you distinguish that subtle biological glitch from 66 million years of actual chaotic planetary background noise?
Right, and that brings us to the most bizarre part of these papers. To separate the T-Rex signal from the noise, they use a thermodynamic filter named after the Egyptian portal of the Weary-Hearted One.
Yeah, and then they map it onto 24 Elder Futhark Viking runes.
Wait, stop! You're losing me! Filtering data through Egyptian mythology and then mapping it to Viking runes. Are we doing quantum physics or casting spells here?
I know, it sounds like pure fantasy. But the Egyptian filter is actually just a naming convention for a cascading data sieve.
Oh, so it's just a name.
Right. It strips away energetic decay layer by layer, much like the mythological portal stripped the soul of earthly burdens. And once the noise is gone, the 24 runes step in.
But not as language, right?
No, strictly as hardware. In bosonic string theory, which is a model of physics explaining fundamental forces, the universe requires exactly 24 transverse dimensions to work.
So they're using the geometric shapes of those 24 runes as a multi-dimensional lattice to process that 24-dimensional data.
You've got it. But the scaffolding still has holes. The signal isn't perfect.
So to fill those gaps, they rely on extant phylogenetic bracketing. That's where you take the closest living relatives on the evolutionary tree and guess the missing pieces.
Right. They basically sandwich the missing T-Rex code between birds and crocodiles.
Yeah, the papers note the ostrich acts as the basal avian root, providing the high-frequency bird traits.
Meanwhile, the alligator acts as the crocodilian subwoofer, providing the heavy, low-frequency biological baseline, like bone density.
And to make sure this hybrid data doesn't degrade, the final baseline is digitized into a 256-bit runic emoji logic string.
Which is just incredible.
It is. For example, the T-Rex muscle growth gene is actually coded using the flexed bicep emoji paired with the Uruz rune. But, why emojis?
It comes down to universal meaning. An emoji functions as dynamic semantic middleware.
Meaning what, exactly?
Well, because a flexed bicep emoji always carries the rigid qualitative meaning of strength, it acts as a stable anchor. It keeps the genetic trait from drifting, while the underlying quantum variables constantly fluctuate.
That is brilliant. So what does this all mean for you? Well, to see if this wild combination actually held together, we look at the lattice coherence score. The sequence achieved a 0.917.
which easily passes the 0.40 threshold required for biological viability.
And the math behind that score even factors in the human stupidity coefficient.
Oh, I love that part.
It's so funny. Because of the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where measuring a wave state causes it to collapse, they literally built a mathematical penalty into the system to protect the dinosaur genome from the destructive nature of us just looking at it.
Which really brings us back to that image of physical excavation we started with. We aren't digging in the dirt anymore.
Right, we're listening to the fabric of reality.
Exactly. This raises an important question, though.
Yeah.
If we can successfully pull a biological blueprint from the quantum vibrations of space-time itself, what other long-lost echoes are out there?
Oh, wow, like the genetic memory of extinct human ancestors.
Or even the acoustic signatures of ancient Earth. They might just be waiting in the quantum foam, waiting for us to tune to the exact right frequency.